Hey, it's Virginia. I've been a medical writer and content creator since 2020 and a registered UK pharmacist since 2014. So in this video, I want to answer this question which popped up on Reddit a few weeks ago and share my response. It's all about this person who has been a medical writer for a long time, working full time, and they want to actually move into freelance medical writing. So here's what they said. I have around 5.5 years experience as a medical writer. I have been at senior level for around 6 months, and I am tired of agency life. Every agency I have worked with has been the same, promising a better work-life balance to no avail. I doubted my ability recently, but realized the workload in my current agency is unsustainable with lack of resource and flexibility. I am missing out on time with my children due to working evenings and occasional weekends with no extra pay. I've been told it's just a phase, but I cannot see things getting better. So I'm considering taking the plunge and freelancing. The thing is, I don't know where to start. I am scared I will struggle to get work. Questions. How do you ensure a consistent workload? I have a mortgage and children to support, so I cannot risk being short. How do you find clients? I'm not up for fighting for jobs on websites. Do you email agencies or pharma companies with a proposal of availability and rates? Advice much appreciated. I am suffocating. So you can really hear how this person is feeling like they want something more from life, and work is kind of taking over everything and they're missing out on family time as well. And I could definitely see this kind of situation happening, and I can empathize because I've been in this situation a lot, especially when I've worked at agency or I've worked in-house as a medical copywriter for a company, a health tech company. So here's my response. Hey, I know what it's like to be promised a better work-life balance and be told it's just a phase. Usually there are seasons when there is more work than usual. Ultimately, an agency is a business and they will minimize resource to maximize profit. So I understand the push for change. But some agencies can be nice. I would not recommend that you quit completely and go freelance 100% as you have a mortgage and kids. You need a good 6 months of savings if you want to quit completely, or maybe have a mini retirement. Start by putting together a portfolio and having a CV that's ready to go. Look at companies that hire freelancers through LinkedIn, and some people literally just put their email in a post and ask for freelancers to reach out to them. You can also directly message business pages too. You might want to reach out to other agencies or fellow medical writers to see if they have extra work they need help with. You could ask your current agency if you can work part-time. Some will hire you back as a freelancer. If that's not of interest to you, then you must secure 2 or 3 freelance contracts with clients that you want to work with for at least the next 6 to 12 months, with a combined value equal to or greater than your expenses. As a freelancer, you're either a regular contact or you're constantly looking for little jobs to complete. You'll also be marketing yourself, networking weekly, and building a reputation as a reliable freelancer. I do recommend that you have a website where you list your skills and services, and equally do this on your LinkedIn page. You could also try Juno, Upwork, or other freelance websites. But note, freelancing is not easy and you will be selling yourself all the time, and this is a skill in of itself. Once you secure work, you want to get some kind of testimonial after you finish it to help you get future clients. Good luck, and I'm happy to answer questions. Or you could ignore everything I've just said and look for a different job as an employee elsewhere and have boundaries going forward to protect your time. Avoid doing things outside of your contract. It should not be the norm to work overtime without pay. So I hope this response to this situation has been helpful for you. And if you're looking for how to find clients, then I do have a video on that, and also what to post on LinkedIn. I've got a video on that as well. But ultimately, this person has 2 different paths they can go down. One is they continue working their full-time job while they try to find freelance clients. And then once they secure that work, they can hand in their notice. So usually you will have a notice period that you need to tell your employer when you are going to leave and then you're going to start new work. So this might be 1 month, 2 months, or even 3 months. And you'll also probably have something in your contract that says you're not allowed to take on extra work while you are a full-time employee. And so you need to check your contract before you start working for someone else, because then your employer might want to claim back expenses from you to say that you were working for someone else at the same time as you were full-time employed with them. And so the quality of your work went down or something like that. And so the business is not going to pay for those hours that you worked because they were not up to the usual standard that you worked. So I would say be careful about trying to do extra jobs on the side if you're in a full-time contract and your contract does not allow you to do that. So I would recommend that you can look for other work. So even if you're a full-time employee, you can look for other work as a full-time employee somewhere else. There's nothing stopping you from looking for work. And so you can either look for other freelance opportunities or other full-time opportunities. And generally, you want to be moving into something that's going to be better for you. So think about how much holiday you're going to get, what the work-life balance is. So when you are having your interview with the hiring manager or whoever's going to be talking with you about a job, you want to make sure you ask questions that really matter to the kind of lifestyle you want. So if you say you have a family and you want to know what the working hours are, that's a fair enough question. So the expectation is you start at 9 and you finish at 5. And if you do any overtime, ask what will happen if you do that overtime. Can you claim that time back? And so, for example, let's say you do 5 hours of overtime between Monday and Thursday. Can you then take half of Friday off? So you need to be able to negotiate time off if you do overtime. And the other thing is that you need to make sure that you are able to sell your skills. So I've got a video on how to do that. And I would recommend that whether you are a full-time employee or you're thinking about switching to medical writing, that you do have some kind of writing samples somewhere in a digital format so that someone can actually click on your portfolio and see what kind of writing you do. Now, if your work is confidential and you've signed an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, then you want to make sure that you have censored anything from those documents, or you go and ask for permission from that client or maybe the agency that you worked for. And I've done this in the past and it's been successful. So I've spoken to the agency and said, hey, I want to share some of these pieces of work in my portfolio. Can I do that? And they said to me, you need to go and ask the client directly. So I did, and the client said yes. So I was able to then share all of that work that I'd been working on for the past year in my portfolio. And that's one really big thing I think I want you to take away from this, is that whatever you are working on, you want to be able to share something about it in some kind of shape or form so that people actually know that you've done real work and you are experienced and you can talk about what you've done, because otherwise it's really hard to say what you're good at, and it's really hard for people to match up what you've done in the past to what they need you to do and then actually hire you to work with them. So I hope this video has been helpful for you if you're in a similar situation and you want to move away from a full-time job that might feel like it's suffocating you, to use the words of the original person, and then move on to something better. So you do not need to stay where you are, especially if you've been somewhere for a year or two and you feel like you've experienced enough and it's not for you. Then do make steps to actually get out of that situation, because it's not worth damaging your physical or your mental health over any kind of work as a medical writer. So there are lots of options out there for you. And that's one of the great things about medical writing. It's very flexible. You can take your skills with you somewhere else that will treat you better, and also be kind to yourself and make sure that you are treating yourself in a good way as well, so that you have a long, sustainable and flourishing career as a medical writer. If you'd like to join a supportive community, there is the International Medical Writers Association that you can check out in the link in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.